Hello, good evening everyone. So today we will discuss about gear drive. The drive system which is performed by the meshing of gears and the result in positive drive and more efficient power transmission when the center distance between the shaft is very small is called gear drive. Okay. So from the definition we can conclude the drive system which performs the meshing of gears. As we know, the gear is any metallic or non-metallic blank in which tooths are cut. Suppose this is a blank, okay, any metal, suppose steel or plastic or anything, any material. If we cut tooths like this, 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 and if these are cut throughout the periphery of the blank, then it is known as gear. Okay, so in this way, if these are cut, then it is known as gear. And when two gears, suppose this is gear 1, this is gear 2, and when these two gears mesh means meet together, and the tooths are meshes together like this: first tooth, second tooth, third tooth, fifth tooth, sixth tooth, and so on, and it rotates the from rotation of one gear to other gear, power transmission occurs. Suppose this is the driven shaft and in which gear is attached, and it transmits power in this way, and this gear B will rotates. Okay, so in this way gear drive doing its work, and it is very important that it is a positive drive. Belt drive, chain drive are not the positive drive, but it is a positive drive. That's why it is more important and more efficient power transmission. More efficient power transmission system when the center distance between the shaft is very small. So these are the conditions. The first advantage of gear drive is a positive drive, more efficient power transmission, and when the center distance is very small, it may be considered as advantage or disadvantage. But when the center distance is small, then only we can use gear drive. Otherwise we can opt for the belt drive, chain drive, rope drive. There are many other drives. Now, classification of gear on the basis of shaft arrangement. So suppose these are two shafts, no? On the basis of shaft arrangement, suppose this is shaft 1, this is shaft 2, in which this one gear is attached to this, one gear is attached to this. So if arrangement are like this is called parallel shaft. Shaft 1, shaft 2, these are parallels. So parallel shaft, then gear are on the basis of shaft arrangement is per gear, is per rack and pinion, helical gear, double helical gear. Now spur gear is what? Suppose this is a blank gear blank, and in which tooths are cut like this straightwise, and this is called spur gear. Spur rack and pinion. Rack, as we know, that it is a rack in which gears are tooth, and one small gear in which tooths are cut, and it rotates on this. Then this is rack and this is pinion. Okay, now helical gear is something like, suppose this is a gear blank and the tooths are cut like this in this format, then this is called helical gear. The angle made is called helix angle, and that is why it is known as helical gear. Okay, and now double helical gear is the gear, suppose this is the gear and gear are cut like this, then it is known as helical gear, है ना. तो पैरेलल शाफ्ट में हम लोग क्या देख रहे हैं? स्पर गियर, स्पर रैक एंड पिनियन, हेलिकल गियर एंड डबल हेलिकल गियर. दीज आर द important gear arrangement on parallel shaft. Now intersecting shaft means, suppose this is shaft 1, this is shaft 2, and now this shaft arrangement are like this, intersect on each other. This is shaft 1, this is shaft 2, intersect like this, and if you rotate this, it has to be rotated in its own. Okay, the power will be transferred from this shaft to this shaft by this mode. So in this arrangement, the gears, the most common or the most important gear for this shaft are bevel gear, bevel bevel gear. So straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear, and helical bevel gear. So these are the types of bevel gear. That means when intersecting shaft like this, then only bevel gear is used in this type of shaft. So bevel gear of straight bevel gear, if two sides are straight, then it is straight bevel gear. If bevel gear is two sides cut spiral design, then it is spiral bevel gear. If it cuts in helical design, then it is helical bevel gear. Now third one is skew shaft. Skew shaft is like shaft arrangement is something like this, and one shaft is like this. Okay, this is skew gear, not intersecting, not parallel. This is not known as skew shaft. Now in this category, crossed helical gear, worm and worm mill, it is very important. You can this worm and worm gear we have shown in mechanics lab. This arrangement, and haploid gear. Haploid gear is another type of gear which is used in skew shaft. Now this is important classification of gear. Now very important thing is it is very important what law of gearing. What is the law of gearing? So first of all, please see the figure or the diagram. This is the diagram, or now I want to explain the diagram. The law of gearing means कि what are the common points, or what are the basic points that defines the gearing system, or the gearing system, or how we can say that this is gear, or this is the meshing of two gears. So we will conclude by some derivations. Suppose two materials are there, material 1, material 2, in which tooths are cut in 1 and 2. These are the two material. Suppose this is 1, this is 2. Okay, like this. Now this has to rotate like this. Okay, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, now it has to rotate like this on a fixed point, that is O1 point, and this is fixed on O2 point. These are the two fixed point for this is for 2, this is for 1. Now when it rotates and when it moves, when one moves, then v1 is the velocity of 1 and it strikes with 2, then v2 is the velocity of 2. Okay, now then this whole arrangement I will describe. First of all, let v1 and v2 be the velocity of the point q on the wheel 1 and 2. This is wheel 1, this is wheel 2, and q, this point q, the meeting point of 1 and 2. This is the meeting point q. Q point is the meeting point of 1 and 2. Then this v1 and v2 be the velocity of q. If the teeth are to be remain contact, if the teeth, this teeth and this teeth, that means 1 and 2 will be in remain contact, then the component of this velocity along the common normal mn, common normal must be equal. It should be always equal if it has to be in remain contact with each other. Now from derivation, v1 cos alpha, velocity 1 cos alpha is equals to v2 cos beta. Now v1 we can write as omega 1 into O1 cube, omega 1 linear velocity into angular velocity, then omega 1 into O1 cube, this distance, cos alpha is equals to omega 2 into O2 cube, cos beta. Now omega 1 into O1 cube. Now cos alpha we can write as O1m divided by O1 cube. This alpha, cos alpha, we can write as O1m by O1 cube. Okay, and same as it is cos beta, we can write as O2n divided by O2Q है ना. Now when we solve it, then we will get omega 1 O1 m is equals to omega 2 O2 n. Further, omega 1 by omega 2 is equals to O2 n by O1 m, O2 n by O1 m, O1 m. It is equation 1. Now also from the similar triangle. Now these are two triangles. From the similar triangle O1 MP, O1 MP and O2 NP, O2 NP. These two similar triangles O2 n divided by O1 m is equals to O2 p by O1 p. This is equations 2. Now from combining equation 1 and 2, when we combine these two equations, omega 1 by omega 2 is equals to O2 n by O1 m is equals to O2 p by O1 p. This is equation 3. That means when we see this equation, that is omega 1 by omega 2 is equals to O2 n by O1 m is equals to O2 p by O1 p, then it states that the common normal at the point of contact between the pair of teeth must be passed through a pitch point, and this pitch point is P. The point P, this is the pitch point, and it will always pass through a pitch point. The law of gearing states that the condition which must be fulfilled by the gear tooth profile to maintain constant angular velocity ratio between the two gears. So the law of gearing states that if two gears meshes and it in an angular velocity, then for contact constant, to maintain the constant angular velocity, it must pass through, the pair of teeth, it means the pair of teeth must always pass through the pitch point, and which point P. It should always pass through point P, and this is known as the law of gearing. Okay, now we will discuss about gear train in our next video. Okay, thank you.